Have you ever been corrected by somebody and afterwards found yourself thinking, who are you? And whatever, you don't know me. And what they're saying just goes in one ear and out the other while you lose respect for them? Well, this happens all the time, but as a leader, you can prevent this. It's avoidable with a simple checklist I call 5 checks before you correct. And in this video, I'm going to break down these 5 things you want to make sure to quickly check before launching into giving correction to the people that you lead. All right, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, my name is Ben Ward, and I've led sales teams for over 2 decades, and I like to talk about leadership principles that inspire high performance and how to draw out the very best in the people that you lead. If you're responsible for inspiring, motivating, coaching, teaching, training your team to achieve results, and you want to continue to learn and grow as a leader, then this channel was created for you. Hit the like button, helps more leaders see these videos. And if you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. I want to hear from you either way. Subscribe to the channel if you want to continue learning more. Listen, one of the fastest ways to take your leadership out at the knees is giving ineffective correction to the people that you lead. And it happens all the time. I've seen way too many trigger-happy leaders pull the pin on the grenade and blow themselves up from giving poor correction to their team members. The good news is this is 100% avoidable. And there's a simple sequence that I've developed from over 20 years of being in the trenches, leading teams, that I highly advise you to adopt before launching into correction mode as a leader. All right, first check. Check yourself. Check your intent. Are you motivated by a selfless desire to be helpful to them? Or is there something else going on? Maybe a little bit of pride where you want to be seen as the leader that gives the direction and correction. You want to check your intent. And we as intuitive beings, we can tell when somebody's coming at us insincerely and it comes across that way to us, and it is extremely ineffective. And so check your motive. And if you're motivated by a true desire to be helpful to them, you can check off that first box. The second check, you want to check their vital 3. Now, what is their vital 3? Vital 3, it's kind of like when you go into a doctor's office. They kind of check your vitals. They check kind of your head, your temperature, your heart, make sure they have the stethoscope going in your back and your chest, and then they go down, they check your reflexes, they go down and check your legs, your feet, and it's kind of like mind, heart, feet, just a very simple assessment. And that gives them an ability to have a simple baseline for your health. Now, as a leader, we have the opportunity to do the same thing, to check sort of their mind. Where's their mind at? How are they showing up? Their heart. Do we know what they're about? Do we know their why? Why do they wake up in the morning and come to work? What are they about? What makes them tick? What are their dreams? What do they dream about? And what are their goals? What are their specific goals that they're trying to pursue? Getting an idea of their mind, their heart, and then their feet. This is their actions. This is what they spend their time doing. And these are their results. Getting an idea of what are their actions? What are they spending their time on? And what results are they creating within your team, in your organization? And getting an idea, just a simple pulse from the mind, heart, feet on these vital 3. If you don't know any one of these vital 3, I challenge you to stop and take the time that it takes so that it takes less time by really getting to know that person. And you can do this in a very simple conversation to find out where their head's at. How are you doing today? What's going on? What's on your mind? It's that simple. And maybe to get an idea of their why, their dreams, their goals, have a conversation with them and talk with them about what's important to them. And ask them very clearly, what are you working on? What are you excited about? What gives you life? What gives you juiced? And what are you passionate about? Ask them just simple questions like that. That'll give you an idea into their heart and their feet. And this is where you can look at their KPIs, their key performance indicators. You can look at their calendar. You could talk to them about what they're doing with their time and just have these simple conversations. It could take 5 minutes to get to know this person. But without this, without a simple mind, heart, feet assessment, the vital 3, I challenge you to pause. Don't launch into correction mode with that person you lead, because it likely isn't going to turn out the way that you're hoping it will. But by going into the vital 3 and getting to know a little bit about them, it will go a long way into helping you to effectively influence and lead that person to success. Third check in with the 4 laws of leadership. Now, I did a video recently that breaks down these 4 laws. I'll put a link to that video in the description below, as well as I'll have it ready for you at the end that you can watch that video after this one. The 4 laws entails 4 essential ingredients that they have to know about you in order for them to be the most receptive to any direction or correction coming from you. And if they don't know these 4 things about you, you've got some work still to do. 4th check their moccasins. Have you walked in their shoes? Do you understand where they're coming from? Have you been listening to them and their needs? We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. We should listen twice as much as we speak. And in fact, the word listen and the word silent have the same letters. 5th check the expectations that you've set. Have you set expectations? Have you already let them know what to expect? Because if you have not, pause, stop, halt. Don't go into correction mode. There's no reason to go into correction mode. This is where you take a step back and go into teaching mode. Teach them. Make sure that you let them know what to expect. There's no sense launching into correction, and too many of us go start at correction, and then we go back like, oh, you know what? I never really clarified what I expected. That's what I meant to do. And we treat our relationship with this person recklessly, and we needlessly destroy some of the foundation that we now have to rebuild with that person. And so check the expectations. Have you been clear? If you have not, go back to teaching mode. And teaching mode, we'll share in one of the next videos. There's 4 essential ingredients to effective coaching and teaching. And so we'll talk about that. But when it comes to correction, if you have already set that clear expectation, then you can check that box. I challenge you to download the guide, print off the 5 checks and keep it with you everywhere. Keep it at your desk and just reference it before going into any sort of correcting. Use this with your family. If you have kids, with your spouse, with your friends. This tool can help you have greater influence with anybody around you, and certainly with your team as a leader, as you strive to lead them to greatness. If any of these 5 checks are missing, giving correction will highly likely not turn out favorable for you. And so I challenge you, don't launch into correction mode if you have any of these 5 left unchecked. 1, you might need to go back and get to know them just a little bit, have a little simple conversation. If it's urgent, talk with them as a human being and get to know them for a second. Do a quick vital check and make sure you check your intent. And if you can check these 5 simple boxes, you have a responsibility to give correction. And if we don't give correction as a leader to the people that we lead when it's necessary, we're being selfish. We care more about them blaming us for pointing out their deficiency. And so we want to avoid that conversation because we don't want to be the bad guy. And that's where we have a responsibility to step up as a leader and have those conversations. Now there's 8 tips that I want to share with you that I'll share with you in the next video to help you give great correction, effective correction, helpful correction that leaves them feeling motivated, inspired, clear, where you have greater rapport with them, even after having one of these challenging, crucial conversations. So stay tuned for the next video on 8 tips for effective correction. If you want to go deeper with this tool to help you have effective, hard conversations with the people you lead, download the 5 quick checks before you correct checklist. And following this will lead to increased productivity. It will lead to mutual respect, rapport, and greater results within your team. It's what I've used to successfully lead my teams and before having hard conversations with the people that I lead for years. Trust me, you don't want to go into correction mode as a leader without first making sure you've checked yourself in these 5 areas. It's linked in the description below, and I'll put it in the comments as well. It's my free gift to you. I hope you find value in it. I hope you use it and make it an incredible day.